I'm Hannah Croft.
And I'm Ava Truckee, and this is Feed Me Your Stories.
A show about food, pleasure, and community, hosted by two best friends who don't have inside voices.
Hi, Han.
Hey.
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 I wanna chit-chat with you. I wanna have a bee-boo.
You wanna chit-chat with me? Because we are not in constant communication throughout our days on a regular basis.
Literally all day. Is it a voice memo? Is it like a series of text messages that nobody else would understand except for us?
Except for half the time I also don't understand them.
Ooh, and I do a lot of, some of my most favorite things in the world are voice to text.
I love when you do those, and it just sounds like you're, like...
having a stroke?
Yeah! Like, it looks like some fucking, like, word vomit that Joe Biden put out. Like, it makes no goddamn sense.
Like, rambling. Literally. Siri does me so dirty sometimes with, like... I'm like, okay.
In Siri's defense, you are not that great at enunciating words.
I'm like, there's a fine line between, like, I'm gonna interpret this in a way, and then if I don't know what you're saying, I'm literally just gonna, like, make up something that has nothing to do with any kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Anyways. Tell me something great that you've eaten recently, will ya?
Something great. Well, as you know, and as everyone else will know, I'm in a bit of a food rut. But this morning I made myself a nice breakfast.
What'd you make?
I toasted up the multigrain bread from Hearth, which is my new favorite thing. It's like perfectly nutty.
I still haven't had it.
And like just a little sweet, but like also like fluffy.
Yeah, I love a fluffy bread.
And they like cut it just in like the perfect thickness. So good. But I toasted that up, and then I did like caramelized brown sugar and cinnamon on one side. Then I did almond butter. And then I did those ginger gold apples from Ela, whatever. And those are the best apples.
They are really good.
They're so good. And then it was like that crunch from the apple and the crunch from the caramelized sugar, and then like the softness of the toast.
I love texture euphoria.
Yeah.
You know? Texture euphoria is a thing. And honestly, if like the texture of a dish is like so fucking on point, and like the rest of it, like, I don't know, maybe it needs more salt, or maybe it's like a little bit lackluster.
But like the texture can like save it for me.
Yeah. Yes.
And also texture can completely ruin things.
Can absolutely ruin things. I was thinking about a cinnamon roll that I had once that like definitely lacked filling. It was a just like a powdered sugar glaze, and like if you're not putting cream cheese frosting on your cinnamon rolls, why are you making them
with the orange zest?
It's the hill I'll die on, okay? But
oh my gosh, okay, then when we go to California together, when I take you back to my stomping grounds, I am going to take you to Old West cinnamon rolls, and you are going to,
because they're slightly underbaked.
They're gooey.
Yeah.
Obviously they're gooey.
Yeah, so this cinnamon roll that I had was that. And also another thing, I love like a brioche kind of adjacent cinnamon roll. That's how I make mine. And this cinnamon roll texturally was so fucking fire that I could really just ignore the fact that there was powdered sugar on top.
An unpopular opinion that I hold.
Fuck me.
I don't really like brioche.
Oh, okay, so fair. Like brioche bread.
I thought you were not doing so mad at me.
No, like a you know, people always want to put a burger on a fucking brioche.
No, it's too light.
And it's a potato bun.
It gets all soggy.
It's a potato bun.
Disintegrates.
It's the only thing that should be on a burger is a potato roll.
Okay, I have another unpopular opinion.
Ooh, tell me.
I actually really like a pretzel bun.
Oh, God.
I know.
Can you believe, to be super honest with you, I can't bang on about this one way or another, because I literally think I've maybe had one pretzel bun my whole life, and I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love a potato bun.
Yeah.
Anyways, brioche for cinnamon rolls lends a very gooey experience.
Okay.
Okay, especially if you're like getting your filling ratio right. It's a vibe. At any rate, we love a textural moment. Something that
Tell me something delicious.
Something so delicious that I made was a corn chowder.
Did you make that Melissa King recipe?
No.
Okay.
I have made that. We can actually, if you remind me, because we're not very good at this, putting it in the show notes. I can put Melissa King's recipe. It's a corn coconut soup, which some folks might think that it is seemingly fussy, because you take the cobs that you have removed, the
make
kernels.
A broth with the cobs.
Yeah, and
see,
so
that just makes sense.
It just
right?
makes sense. You're pulling more corn flavor.
Also, yeah.
And if you're doing something, I mean, that recipe is literally, I mean, there's nothing in it. It is like a corn coconut milk soup. That's what the fuck it is. Like that's all it is. At any rate, I do the same thing, same model idea for the chowder that I made.
Do you have any leftovers?
No. Damn. Your niece ate them, and so did Yaya. Yep.
Okay. Hi.
As you know, and some folks might know, my partner doesn't like soup. It's not so much that he doesn't like soup, but he has convinced himself that
it's not a meal.
It's not a meal. It's a snack.
He says that it makes him more hungry.
Okay.
Which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
But we love him so much. And so...
despite his hot take on soup.
Soup, yeah. I mean, talk about a fucking unpopular opinion, y'all. That's literally not a thing. It is like... peak corn season is like just scooching on out, right? And I'm like, fuck, I really haven't done a ton. And so I was like, please, because he does like stews. He loves a pozole.
Okay, but like a chowder is basically a stew.
Exactly. So I was like, Anaya, you're running out of times that you can have stupid food opinions, okay? I'm drawing the line in the sand.
You can't. Nope.
And so I'm like looking over my shoulder and I'm like, I'm like bracing for impact. How do you feel about chowder? And he's like, oh my God, I love corn chowder. And I was like, thank God. So corn chowder it was. Also, Mooney really loves corn. Anyways, you know, when you, number one, nail a dish, right? Because like, I knew in my brain what I wanted it to be, and there I was. I can't remember the last time I made corn chowder, and I'm positive that I used a recipe at some point, but I really nailed this dish, and I'm like watching the three of them eat last night, and Mooney is like, this is so good. This is so good, Mom. This is so, and the potatoes in it, and it's so good. Maddox is lifting up his bib and literally drinking the soup that has fallen into the crevasse of the bib pocket when he has a whole bowl of stew chowder soup in front of him. Anaya's like, that's gross, because there was weird food in that already, but we don't have to talk about that. And then Anaya is like looking at me from across the table and is like, you're fucking magic. And I'm just like watching the magic. You're so...
He's from the Midwest.
He is. Literally is from, so that would track. He is from the Midwest. You're so magic. That's what he said to me. And I'm just like watching my people like eat and love a thing that I made that I was really proud of. And I got to like relish in that for a minute.
That's the best.
It was really,
I love that for you.
It was really lovely. And then I know we've talked about before Mooney's sort of like disdain right now for me like packing her lunch. you know, like she gets geeked about like what is in it, you know, and like, and she'll participate and tell me what she wants to eat for lunch that week. And also, it's, like, way cooler if she can just, like, get school lunch with her friends.
Even though school lunch is never good.
And it's, like, when she tells me what the fuck I'm like, Because I do. Like, I have let her now. It was the day before her birthday. It was a Friday, and she got to get school lunch, and she was very excited about it. But, yeah, I mean, when she told me what they ate, I was just like...
That sounds gross.
So this morning, I was like, hey, would you like a ham sandwich, or would you like some soup from last night? And she goes, in my pink thing, which is a thermos. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, make sure there's extra potatoes, Mom. And I was like, can do.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there she is.
God, I love that kid.
I know, baby girl is just like eating corn chowder.
Make sure there's extra potatoes.
She's a fucking hoss. I love that kid. I mean, like, it was already portioned out. You know how it goes. Like,
right.
I literally can't help the potato content. Anaya's lunch was already packed, and so was hers. So I was like, yep, extra ones just for you. Nailed it, because I love you so much. Anyways, okay. Food ruts, cooking. Are you in a food rut or are you in a cooking rut? Is it a both and?
That's a good question. I think it's a both and.
Okay.
I think it's like mostly a product of Liam starting this new job and having a schedule that is very similar to mine.
Yes.
And so if both of us are working, you know, he'll leave the house at like 7:45 and maybe get back like an early day is like getting back by 6, and then I'm working until 6 or 7, and it used to be that Liam worked from home, and so it was like very easy for Liam
to get a jump
dinner,
right,
and for us to like plan meals that actually we would cook every night. And now, like, Liam does physical labor at work and I do emotional labor at work, and we're both just so tired. And so we're trying to figure out what that means for weeknight meals.
I think
and so I went to Costco.
Okay.
For other reasons. But then we were like, okay, well, let's like be kind to ourselves and like meet ourselves where we're at in terms of cooking and like make things easier for ourselves.
So you got like the prepared carnitas. Is that what you did?
We didn't get the prepared carnitas because that...
Also, why am I saying
prepared?
And then you said...
I know. Okay, it's fine. It wasn't the pre-made carnitas. It was the pre-made, like, Thai basil chicken. And let me tell you, it tastes like nothing.
Was it a vibe?
It was the opposite of a vibe.
It was a non-vibe?
It was so disappointing. We ate it last night because I, like, wasn't supposed to be home for dinner, and... we were, like, we hadn't planned any meals, and we were just like, ugh,
I guess we're just gonna eat this.
And we were both just like, like, no amount of chili crisp and soy sauce is gonna save that meal. And so then it just, like, starts this, like, negative feedback loop.
Well, and so that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's already being in, which, God help me, I have been in. It's bad enough, especially when you're folks like us who sort of orbit around food and feeding people that we love and cooking and the idea of shopping and planning and these sorts of things. Like, I orbit around that kind of shit. You know what I mean? And so, like, when
feels like we have farther to fall when we get into a food rut.
Yeah, but then when it's like when you're already in a food rut and then you like you need to be kind of reawakened, whether that's like figuring out a new system or a new rhythm or a new routine. There's that part, but then it might be like a creative rut, or like you don't know what to fucking make anymore, or it might be a both and then when you eat something garbage and you're like, there's literally no hope. There's no hope at all.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like inside my head right now.
We have to live off of peanut butter and jelly forever. It's the only option.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where we're at. And it's like, oh man, it's hot again.
Yep.
And grumble, grumpy
Here's my hot take. Because I know you and I know you well. There are like lots of factors. It's not just like a cooking and a preparing and just like kind of rut in general. It's also, like you said, we are like coming up on like a